Don't burn bridges. That's one of the best things I ever learned. Sometimes the people you thought might help don't, and that's okay. That's a new learning thing every day. And then there's those that surprise us that we haven't seen in 20 years and are like, oh my gosh, like it's so great. Let me know who you want to meet in my network.
Surrounding yourself with the positivity is reinforcement for your brain. So our negative thoughts create negative actions and behaviors and more negative thoughts. Like if you tell yourself you're sick, you're sick. You know, your body's like, oh, I don't feel good. Here's what the staffing world will tell you. Scale up, hit your freaking quota, make the calls, make more calls. Where's your placements? Where's your submittals? And move on. Bigger is better. Metrics are everything. Well, my guest today threw most of that out the window and still built something thriving. Staci Bender Epstein is the co-founder of the B Group, a boutique staffing and recruiting firm that she runs alongside her husband and business partner, Ed, outside of Philadelphia. The name says it all. BE for Bender Epstein, but also be whatever the hell you want to be. Staci came up through marketing, fell into staffing accidentally like the rest of us, and of course fell in love with it. But she decided early on that she could not be quota driven. It was never going to work for her. So she drives everything through passion. 18 years on her own, 11 years building B Group, small but mighty by design. She's the person who shows up to a meeting with a menopause fan and zero apologies. I love it. She's got an office covered with smiley faces. She starts every morning dancing to music before she touches one single email. And because, seriously, in an industry this tough, she decided that humor and heart were the whole point, not taking ourselves too seriously. Staci is somebody that the moment I met her felt a connection to. And I have told her, I think we're best friends now because she has just such a warm, giving, and energetic personality. There's nobody else that's better type than Staci's personality for this industry. And I am so excited to introduce her to everybody. Let's get into it with Staci. So it's so funny because when the first time, so we were introduced through, so I think we connected on LinkedIn and then we were introduced or something. It was kind of backwards. I think I saw you looking at me and I was looking at you on LinkedIn, right? It wasn't that kind of the way we connected?
Yes.
I was like, were you looking at me? I don't know. But then the first time we talked, I don't know if you felt this, but I was like, I love her. I think we're best friends.
I felt like I knew you forever. And we were introduced. Now I'm escaping. The name is escaping me, but she moved to Porto.
Myra?
Yeah, Myra.
Yeah, I know. Yes. So I couldn't remember if it was the person who introduced me to her, but you're right. Yes. It was Myra. And so I'm trying to get her when she moves on here too. And then we'll do a part 2 and all three of us will bring you back.
So fun. I'm so excited for her. Porto is one of my favorite cities. And I didn't know she was moving. I was like, that's amazing. I'm jealous.
Anyway, I just feel like I've been introduced to so many people and you just stuck. But I swear the first time we spoke, there was just like a click. We had so much fun.
We did.
And I don't know, you just have that personality. So this was a must. Like I had to have you on here and the energy that you bring is infectious. So
you too. You have a fun, this is an oxymoron, but like a calm, energetic, like disposition about, like I love it.
Okay.
I'm so hyper and you sort of calm me down and I love it.
Okay. That's all right, good. So we're like the leveling of each other. I like it. So, but I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you have this business with your husband. I just I don't know, from somebody who had an unsuccessful relationship, I can't imagine. I think it's phenomenal. And I am just in so much awe of people who can have those accomplishments, work together, have those bonds, have those relationships. Like that's what it should be.
Yeah.
So let's do the whole, tell me about yourself and, give me the rundown of your whole what is your story, Staci?
Oh my goodness. We should keep part one's mainly PG, and then part two will be all
Yeah,
the nitty gritty details.
we'll do it after
Um,
hours, right? Yeah.
well, this is funny because I know it's edited, but whether or not this part will be edited out. So this is my second company. So my first one and my background was marketing. So I had an agency. And when I got out of that world, I was like, what's next? And sort of fell into staffing. Now, I spent 1 year in IT staffing, which is where I met
That's so hard.
Ed, my husband and business partner.
Yeah. Okay.
Much better over Drake's that conversation than the water sitting next to me. But that is where I met Edward. So that was my 1 year in IT staffing. So after I got out of marketing, some former clients and people were like, hey, I need a chief revenue officer and I need some HR and I need sales. So I started doing it for fun and for free. And then I was like, okay, well, people are the largest asset of any company. Yeah, exactly. Not great with money. I am not good with money. But then I was like, wait, I'm on to something here. And I really enjoy at the very core of staffing what we do. And it's helping people navigate the job market. And it's one of the biggest decisions for somebody. So, that's complicated, but I loved that. So then it turned into B Group and B Group, we're called the B Group, BE Group. I don't care. I've been called worse. So they can call whatever you want, but it is B Group, and it's Bender was my maiden name, and Epstein is my married name. So it's sort of like be whatever you want to be.
Makes sense.
So
love it.
I like it. There's the creative marketing side of me. Yes. So B Group was born about at this point 10, 11 years ago. Ed had come from staffing and technology for many, many years and joined me about 3 years into having the company.
Yeah.
And so now it's ours. We live in Bucks County, but we work with clients all over. It's an insane industry. I don't think I ever grew up thinking I was even going to become an entrepreneur. And now it's like, I don't know what they call serial entrepreneur. I'm like, I'm not that great. I sort of fell upon both companies in different ways. And it's exciting though. And it is funny. You mentioned about working with my husband and all that. And a couple of days ago, I said to Ed, I'm like, we hardly get annoyed with business stuff because we really do complement one another in, from that aspect. It's the other stuff, the life stuff that obviously, everybody gets on each other's nerves, but we're together all the time. Yeah. But really the work part of it is pretty incredible. Ed just brings a breadth of experience and knowledge that I didn't have. And I have from building a company before with a partner. So, there's just a lot of knowledge there that works well for us.
That's great. How do you split things up and what are your strengths versus his? You said you complement each other. What are those?
Yeah. So this is an interesting one. If I had to say, if I divvied up what our responsibilities are, Ed is recruiting and Staci is sales.
Okay.
I don't know that Staci loves and is so wonderful at sales. I'm joking, but I'm not a very no one's ever going to hire me. Not that I'm leaving my company, but after I say this, I'm not quota driven. I'm passion driven.
Okay.
I'm not like, if you told me to go make 50 calls or go reach out, I'm going to fail, but I love the business development. I love the relationships. I've always been a huge networker. I care a lot about people. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the right, but listen, it's two of us. So our responsibilities go into one another. I do recruiting sometimes. Ed certainly reaches out to prospects, but the delineation every day is sort of Ed focuses more on recruiting. I'm doing more of the business development sales. I'm weird. I'm like this introverted extrovert. I don't know. I've heard ambivert. I don't know.
I was going to say there's a new name for that. I'm like, that's me too, I think.
It is. Yeah. And I do think you and I did talk about this prior to this call. And
you're right.
I'm very outgoing. I'm a people person, but at the same time, I definitely recharge just like by myself. I don't know if it was an only child. I have no idea, but I'm definitely a mix.
Yeah, I was too. And I was a shy kid. And it's funny. I never would have pictured that this is my, I think it's because I kicked off in retail. And you just, that kind of rips you out of your comfort zone when you're scared of dealing with people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that gets you out of
Yeah.
it. So
It's true. But yeah. And I like the back end of like talking to candidates. It's almost like
yeah.
therapeutic, a lot of those conversations. And I really do enjoy that part of it a lot.
Well, and I think that, I would take that passion driven over metrics driven any day because metrics driven has a cap, I think.
Yeah.
And it also has the cap also comes with, all right, well, when can I get the better deal?
Yeah.
So that's where you turn people. Not that you're looking for a job, but
No.
just with hiring, like I think is you have to find what your passion is. Isn't that what that's what you were striving for is,
Yeah.
what
I
makes us happy? What is that, deeper
yeah.
drive for
Yeah.
accomplishing? Yeah.
I do. I always hear that. And I always hear, and I just had a call the other day with a consultant, and he was like, what's your why? I hear it so much. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it changes. I guess the why is I was just always born, I'm an empath really at heart. It's a good thing and a
Right.
bad thing because I feel a lot and I
Yeah.
try and help everyone and I kind of forget about myself
Mhm.
sometimes. But I think it's a good trait. But
Yeah.
I've always been told like think about the why and what
Yeah.
makes you guys different and what makes you just
That's
want to
huge.
jump out
Yeah.
of bed every day.
Yeah.
I Nobody jumps out every day like so excited about work. If someone says they love, well,
No.
I do have one friend. I swear every time I talk to her, she's like, I love my job.
What does she do?
So she's in sales for technology. I also have
Okay.
another friend that works for a big company, and she also is very
Mhm.
passionate about it. I'm passionate. It's just
Yeah.
like I'd rather like dance every morning and listen to music than just like go hit staffing. But it does
All
feel good.
right.
The helping somebody find a job, like when someone you help finds a job
Mhm.
and they're there for you, it is the most
It
incredible
is.
feeling. It just is.
It is. I think that's where there's high highs in this industry and super low lows, not just in staffing, but on the entrepreneurship side. I think, I was talking about this on one of the last episodes is like, man, you just like there's nothing, but you don't think there's anything beneath rock bottom until that you're in this industry. And then on top of it, you're doing it by yourself, right? I
Yeah.
would not have opened would not have opened my own staffing company for many reasons.
But you're
And I
starting, you have a company.
I do. So I went the other way. Oh yeah, let me build a software company. That's easier.
I am so I think it's the most incredible thing.
Oh,
I
you're
think
sweet. Thank you.
you are very determined and a go-getter. And I knew that from our first conversation, and you're gonna kill it. It's just you're right, there's so many hurdles and so many things, and it could go literally from the best morning to the worst evening
That was me
with one
yesterday.
email.
I was like, I woke up yesterday. I was like, this is an awesome day. I started out so good. And by the end, I was like, I just want to punch something. It's like, how do you go? And maybe that's just a little bit me too, as the cause of
Yeah.
that. But honestly, but what you're doing is there's so many things that are unpredictable,
Yeah.
because for me, like I can sign up and have somebody subscribe. Okay, I got a customer for a couple months, a year,
Yeah.
whatever. You fill a job, you better get another job to fill.
Yeah.
It is just that constant, especially if you're on the business development side, right? So,
Yes.
do you have a process? Do you have like how are you kind of continuing that loop of backfilling?
Yeah.
And especially too, if you're all over the place, like you said, okay, we're not necessarily in one geographic spot. I don't even know where I would start to sell to people.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I'm laughing because I think focus is one of the harder things for
Mm,
Stacy. Speaking about myself in the third person when I'm angry at myself, but like somehow it works for a lot that I'm all over. But when
yeah.
it does come down to process, I am very. I think it's literally a constant work in progress.
Mm,
Of just coming
right.
up with there. I don't know that there's a perfect process for
Okay.
business development and sales. I have my notebook of to-dos. I have
Mhm.
LinkedIn that I go to and look at what's happening out there with companies that are hiring and growing. I
Mhm.
look at different awards and things that are happening in the region to see what companies are, up for awards or get different
Okay.
series of funding or
Yeah.
rounds of funding. I talk to different centers of influence who have been extremely crucial in my career and just so helpful
Mm,
along the way. I need to do a better job of that.
okay.
That's where I want to help everyone, but like people want to help. If I want to help, you want to help, others want to help.
They
And not
do.
everybody's thinking of Staci every day. So you have to reach out and say, hey, we're looking for companies that are
Yeah.
growing. Do you know anybody, in your world that might be hiring or any leaders of companies that are growing and doing well? So it's a little bit of everything.
Mm,
But you're right. It's like one good thing in the morning doesn't mean you stop there. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm good, and it never
yeah,
ends. It's
I
like
know.
the good and the bad. Sometimes I am envious of friends that have jobs that they end. They go home. They don't have to be on their
Yeah.
computer or do it. Um,
Yeah.
but then there's the beauty of building something. And I can't
Hmm.
believe I was thinking about this the other day too. It's now 18 years, I think, on my own. So I've been on my own now
Wow.
certainly longer than I've been in corporate. And I don't even know what that means. Maybe
That's
I'm just not
great.
marketable to any. I mean, it's again, I'm not looking for a job, but sorry, I have my menopause fan here that I, I'm like, if I reach over, that's why. Listen,
Can we
it's
clip that?
personal.
Can we?
Yeah.
No, I mean, can we use that as a short?
Yes.
Let's use that.
100%. And it's just,
That's
you know
very
what?
relatable.
It is part of my whole journey and me. And every meeting, everywhere I go, there is a fan. And that is just like,
So
it's Stacy and a fan.
mine's a heater. So I have my heated blanket on right now and I'm
Oh,
pulling
what?
it up because I'm so cold. And even during the heat wave the last couple of days, I'm like, I can't turn my heater on. Like that is just a
You
sin. I can't
cannot.
do it. I can't do it. But I still have my heated
94.
blanket on.
Oh my gosh. Well, and you're tiny. Not that I'm like big. It's just like it's the menopause thing. And it's real. And listen, if the hot flashes are the only thing that happened for me, knock on wood, that's fantastic. So I'll
Okay.
take the flash. So there's a
Yeah.
fan.
Good. I
Okay.
like it. I like it. Good,
Yes.
good. So it's funny. I love watching it. Like if I saw, because I see your husband's posts all the time.
Yes.
It looks like he's got the marketing background. Not that yours aren't great, yours are, but his are just. I'm like, where does he have the time to do all this? And they're
Yeah.
funny, they're fun, they're entertaining. So tell me a little bit about
All
that, and
right. Here,
please,
yes, here comes the Sora videos that everybody's been
everyone
asking
asking.
us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. It's the things that you never think will not matter or catch on, but you just have fun with it. And that's
Yeah.
actually what you should focus on. If you have fun with marketing, all that stuff, like that's who we are behind the
Mm-hmm.
scenes. So why not bring that out to our
Yeah.
LinkedIn community and our friends, whatever, which had actually started more for fun. So ChatGPT had a video platform called Sora. They
Mm-hmm.
were 10-second clips and that's it. And you were almost the director, producer of
Okay.
these 10-second clip videos. So they started out with friends and family, and we just had fun like doing it. And then we're
Yeah.
like, well, if we're doing them every day, like let's just do it for B group. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what we did for a while. And then, of course, they shut down Sora because it was too
Why?
expensive to maintain.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay.
now B group
Now
has to
what?
find a new fun. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's even more than me. You're so up with AI and technology. We just have to find a fun
So,
new platform.
so well, you inspired this. You don't know this. I do just a little Stacy stalking, but and Ed in a good way, more for business, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that I found your platform because it's called Soar, not Sora, SOAR.
Writing it down. Yeah.
And then I go and I buy the thing,
Oh
and
my
then I
God.
see your video and I was like, that's not what I have.
So what's sore?
Similar. It's very
Okay.
similar. There's another one too that I had signed up for because you know how Google tricks you and you search for Sora and it's a totally different company.
Yes.
Luckily, I only did a free trial with that one. I'm like, this is not it either. So anyway, I had some trouble, but I'll have to
Yeah.
look that one up because it actually was half decent. But it's very similar. There's a lot of them now. I
Yeah.
actually did a little commercial for my company, My Scout. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe a month or so ago. It
Yeah.
was, I think it was after the last time you and I talked because I didn't mention it
That's
to you
so
last time.
funny.
So, yeah. So but it was dirt cheap for whatever I signed up, whatever package I got.
Yeah. Have to
And
look.
so I think I don't think it's as good. But I also didn't get a chance to do too much with it either. I think
Yeah.
if I, put a little time in. But
Yeah.
I
Thank
love the
you.
commercial side. Like I love what you guys did there. You'll find a new one and then we'll
We
all
will.
follow suit.
Oh my gosh, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
We're always just looking for a way to be different. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
we're small but mighty. People say you're this dynamic duo, and we're always just trying to look for ways to
Yeah.
have fun with an industry that's tough, especially right now.
Yeah.
Everybody says there's no jobs. It's not that there's no jobs. It's just there's a plethora of candidates and people looking. And
Yeah.
somebody puts a job out there, and within a day, it's like 1,000 applicants, have applied, and it's
Right.
disheartening. It's hard. I just think I've always used humor for tough things. I've
Yeah.
always used humor, and Sora was such
Similar.
a
Yeah.
great platform to do that. So
Yeah.
we'll keep to we take real subject matter and then put it into, a fun video format. So we'll have to find a new one, but
Yeah. That's
thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the toughest thing right now for you? And it's so cyclical, right? It is like sometimes it's the job, sometimes it's the candidates. So what are you seeing right now?
It's going to be clients and jobs for us, I think. Oh, and
Mm,
I'm not going to take all the blame because I do most of the sales, but
yeah.
that is always the harder part. And I think, companies are looking at ways to use AI technology in other
Yeah.
ways. Not that I think staffing companies are going to go away entirely. I definitely think there's a
Mm-hmm.
need for us. I think the way companies work with us, is
Yeah.
changing and may be different. So I think we're constantly looking at how can we differentiate ourselves and make ourselves still valuable in a world that's, AI is
Yeah.
changing it every day. There's some things we're thinking about and working on. Maybe that'll be in part 2 of
I
the
was gonna say, well,
podcast.
that was gonna be my next question. Is
Yeah.
what is it?
I know. Actually, it's half baked.
Okay.
Some of the ideas, for real, like it wouldn't even. I'm not trying to be all like weird and secretive, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's just things we're like, well, what if we did this a little differently, and what if we did
Okay.
that, and if we thought about placing candidates in a bit of a different way. But back to your original question, sales it's still harder to bring
Mm,
on clients that are growing. I think also historically, sorry, I didn't mean to
no.
interject, but
No.
we've done a lot of like place a person and done and one and done. And I think
Right.
we're just looking for clients that, have more opportunity throughout the year for us. I think that's where we really thrive also when we are a true partner and growing with our
Yeah.
clients. That's where we've proven to just be more helpful and successful.
Yeah. So what is it? Is it they don't have the orders or they're not, open to so here's my issue. I've said this before. You have an open job order. Why wouldn't you want to see free candidates? You know what I
I
mean?
know.
What's the problem? I never understood that. And of course I'm biased. I'm on the other side, but
Yeah,
you never know when you're going to find the next best staffing company. So why wouldn't you want to test them out? It's not
I
like
know.
it's a free trial. I don't get that. So what are they saying? What are the objections you're getting?
Yeah, well, I keep going back to myself in sales. I'm really beating myself up on this podcast. I think that it's still, listen, sales is still a numbers game. The more
Mm-hmm.
companies you
Oh
reach
yeah.
out to, the more that clients you're going to bring in. So I think it's just, I do need to reach out to more companies. So there's that.
Got it.
Some are like, well, we work with the staffing company or whatever. We want to see how they do, and maybe we'll work with you.
Yeah.
We want to try to do it on our own and use our own networks. And that's fine. Those have been the
Sorry, I
same
just laugh at that.
yeah, I'm like, good luck with that.
Right.
But I don't, it's funny you bring up, so a lot of what we do so we do contract placement, but on the permanent side, we do a lot contingent.
Okay.
It is also something, and this isn't a secret, we're just, looking to sort of perhaps add to that model. It's not that we like contingent. It makes us work hard. But to
Yeah.
your point, why wouldn't you say we work for free until we find somebody great?
Yeah.
The challenge with that is when you do work with a client that takes 6 months to make a decision. We've now worked for 6 months where we've seen nothing,
Yeah.
and we're so consultative to our clients that has bit us in the ass a little bit. So we're
Yeah.
sort of looking at, a different model. Maybe it's a like a hybrid contingent. I think that's the
Yeah.
wording that I've been playing
Okay.
around with. And it's like a percentage up front to start the search. And that
Yeah.
percentage is applied to the overall percentage of
Yeah.
placing that person. And it just shows skin in the game for both sides, and not just B group, but more for the client too. And they're vested in partnering with us.
Yeah, I like that. You could also do like, okay, let's say it's direct hire, but you have them pay you like it's contingent, right? You have them pay you
Yep.
like on a weekly basis. Like that's another
Yep.
way. You have a contract or whatever. Sometimes that's not as intimidating to
I know.
companies that have not done direct hire, but you still get the win on the candidate side because
Correct.
it's tougher. And we all know the best candidates, not that there hasn't been layoffs and there hasn't been great people in those layoffs, but the majority is you want to go after the candidates that are working, and it is harder to get them into a contingent
It is. It is.
opportunity.
It is. And it's like, I don't know what is the right formula. I say this and I may jump off this podcast, and we just got a new client and it's contingent and it's amazing.
Yeah.
We did bring on a new client last week, and a fintech client, and it's contingent and we're super excited about it.
That's great.
It'll be an incredible partnership, and that's great. It's like anything. Some things work. You bring on different clients for different reasons, and you have different scenarios, but we're just looking at ways to keep growing our business, because that is the goal.
Well, for the business owner, contingent is the most stable. And especially, I don't know, are you guys going to do this forever? Do you want to sell eventually? What does your future look like?
Oh, you have all great questions this morning. I don't know. And I know that, we talk about it. It's not that we never talk about the future, but I know succession planning and all of that is important. I'm saying this and Ed's going to kill me if he listens to this. So Ed's older. I'll just say Ed's a little bit older than Staci.
And he's just more mature.
Wiser.
More mature? Wiser? Yeah.
Not mature.
Okay.
Not mature. It's
Sorry,
like not
I
even a
tried.
word. Definitely not mature. No, but wiser. I love it.
Okay.
But his parents worked well into their 80s, and I even think early 90s. So he has that, knock on wood, he has that longevity in his family and that work ethic and all of that. I don't even know that I'm because he does have some friends that have retired, and we don't talk necessarily about exact date on retirement, and I want to be this age. We talk about potentially Ed maybe phasing out before Staci, or what's the next, what does B Group 2.0 look like?
Right.
We've always been open to conversations, and we've had conversations with companies that thought about merging or us becoming part of them. Always open. You never know.
Yeah.
That's also the beauty, and you're making me think now of, you never know what that next conversation could be or look like. And that's the exciting part, and that keeps you going and owning your own business too. And I know you and I have talked about this, not even just the bad conversations, but the great ones that propel you forward. So we're open to all things. I just think now it's bringing on good clients and having more consistency.
Okay.
The consistency and growth. And if we can have that, and then look, truthfully, not everybody buys a permanent staffing company, perm placement. The contract side, that recurring revenue. So we're sort of looking at that too.
Yeah. There's not much to buy except maybe the
You're
name.
buying us.
You don't.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't think you can get as much, multiple for that. So the contingent but the profitability is on the perm side. So it's all right, if you have a nice sweet spot.
I know. I think we're still trying to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay?
My dog just came in and started rubbing all over the carpet and scared me.
That's so funny, because I made her, she fell asleep down here.
Did you ever see him? Right. Did you ever see mine? Or
I don't know that I did.
I think I saw yours. Look, come on.
Where's your doggy?
Come here. Come on. Come up.
Oh.
Come up. Come up.
Oh my
Come
God.
Up. Say hi.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Hi,
get
puppy.
your little hey.
Oh.
Get your face in here.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
he
he's
heard
a
me
big
raise
boy.
my voice. He is a big boy. I know. She's like my life.
Come up. Come on.
Oh my gosh, look at him. He's
trying to get him to come up.
Now
here.
You're coming. Okay, you come up and say
all
hi.
Right, now it's a pup fest.
Maya, you're on the podcast.
Luke
girlfriend.
and Maya, they should be boyfriend girlfriends.
They should. How old's Luke?
8. His birthday.
Yeah,
Wait. his birthday coming up? He's going to be 8 or he's going to be 9? Let's go with 8. I like that
Let's
better.
go with 8. This one's going to be 11.
Oh, she looks
She
great.
does. Well, you're getting a haircut tomorrow. All right, now you need to get down. Okay, I'll be done
See, I
in a
couldn't
bit.
get him to come up, and well, now he's going to sit there for a while and stare at
Lay
me
down.
like a
Down.
creep because
She's
I
gonna
only
do
gave
the
him
same.
one. I only gave him one cookie.
I made sure. I'm like, you go out. I gave her a treat before. You have to lay down.
Mhm.
She'll go away. She'll go away. But she is like my life, and she is going to
Oh,
be 11. But this is the
same.
hard thing. I try to anticipate. This is so horrible, but I try to anticipate like the day like she's not here,
I
and
can't do
I
it.
lose
can't
it.
do
I'm not
it. I
crying on this
can't do it.
podcast.
No.
But yeah, it's
I
so
don't
hard.
it'll be months. I don't know how I'll function. I better
I probably won't.
oh, no.
It's gonna it's
Nope.
gonna be devastating. But
Yeah.
but she's here. And people ask us if she's a puppy. So she still has, she has still so much life in her and she's wonderful. But yeah, she's our little B group mascot. I don't know.
I love it.
I don't
So I call him my CMO. He's my chief mascot officer.
I love that.
He has his own TikTok page.
What's his TikTok? You'll have to send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Oh.
I've been neglecting it, and there's so much material I should. That's a good reminder. I gotta get back on that.
This has. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
He's been such a good motivator for me.
It's
great. On like bad days, it's crazy what pets can do for you.
Oh my
especially
God.
dogs.
It's so funny. She literally just laid down and went to sleep. They're always there for you. Like they're always happy and wagging their tail. And like, you're right. Even on the worst days, they're always there. It's pretty remarkable. I was just thinking, now I'm ad-libbing. I'm just talking because I was thinking about like what motivates me, I think people are like, oh, you're so positive. I'm like, come over here on some bad. I'm not always I shouldn't say it. I am positive.
Mm-hmm.
And I get sad, angry, frustrated, bitchy. I'm all those things too, but I try to stay positive because we live in a crazy world and there's lots of negative things around us. So if I could start a different company, I could never have a product company, I don't think, but I'm obsessed with smiley faces and glitter. I'm like a 5-year-old. I don't know what it would be. I mean, literally during COVID, I got my first tattoo at like 40. I don't know how old am I? I'm 48, like 43 or something. I got a smiley face. Like I don't know. It makes me happy. And then dancing and music. Like that's how I start every day. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you think that does? So I'm a naturally pessimistic person, honestly. I don't have that instinct to be, this is a lot. I'm not acting right now because you do bring it out. And I have so much fun on these podcasts, like just talking to people, but it's discipline. I have to be very disciplined every day to get up, to get motivated. I'm lucky that I found something I'm passionate about, etc. However, my mind goes dark a lot of times. Yeah. So I'm always asking everybody, like, what advice do you have for me? Because I know I'm not the only one who needs inspiration. I don't think you can motivate me. I don't think anybody else can motivate me. But, how do you do that more naturally? And how could I, what could I learn from that? Because need something new, every couple months.
Yeah.
to work on.
It's so interesting. So I feed off of, people ask me why I have all this energy. I mean, I am an energetic person, but I feed off of other people's energy. Okay. So when you get a dud in front of me, I mean, it certainly brings Staci down, but I certainly feed off of other people's energy. Like I said, like literally smiley face, they're everywhere. I know you can't see like my office there. It's literally on my laptop. This is what sits next to me. This little like that's ridiculous, so like, oh yeah, I feel like it's a good idea. Blurry. I have a smiley face pillow. I mean, literally on the back of my phone. Like I think seeing that smile like makes me smile. Yeah. Music. I mean, music is like, look, music's universal. It is literally the universal language. It can take a bad mood and I can just like dance around in my office and it just changed the mood. Yeah. But I don't mistake me. I certainly have dark days and dark thoughts. And it's funny, we weren't recording when we first jumped on and we were talking about overthinking.
I don't even think
I
I said
mean,
hello. I said, do you overthink sometimes?
I
Right.
mean, what do they say? Like the average person has 60,000 thoughts a day. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if that's I think that was the
Yeah.
statistic. We talk to ourselves so much that, I mean, we don't even realize it. And
Yeah.
let me tell you something, the 60,000 thoughts aren't positive. A lot of time,
Yeah.
and I talked to you even before we jumped on also about imposter syndrome, and I was listening to
Mm-hmm.
the other podcast, participants. I'm like, oh, he built this company of 200, and this one did, and it's like it's never enough. And I don't
Mm.
know when I wake up one day and I'm like, B group's where I
Yeah.
want it. And this is not a money wise. I'm not like, oh, I need a bigger house. I need all this stuff. It's just, what is enough? Like, when is it
S-
enough?
But do you think that if you had a different outlook and you could get to that, okay, it's enough, that you'd be a natural entrepreneur? Like, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think that as somebody who's like, all right, this is enough. I don't know if anybody really thinks that. I think the majority of people want more.
Yeah.
The majority of people, though, will only go so far to get it, I think. I
Yeah.
think you're
You're
just
right.
on that next level is like, all right, well, you're willing to do the extra hard work. And then you
Yep.
see the results and you're like, all right, well, I still want more, right? That's just not
Yeah.
satisfied feeling. I think that it comes with the territory of having your own business. I think that
I think you're right.
those are the people that's why you've been in it for 18 years.
Doesn't
Like,
even make sense because I'm 29. It's so weird.
I know, God, you're a baby.
Um, I think I wish I was 29. But I don't know. Actually, I don't. It's funny. Time and age are funny things. So, like,
Mhm.
with age just comes wisdom. It's just
Mhm.
that is the truth. So I've
Yep.
learned so much, and each decade has brought incredible and tough things. So I don't mind where I am. I love my 40s, but also I'm like, oh my God, I'm real close to 50. So that doesn't make sense. But I was gonna say, like, the needle shifts on like what your goals are. Like, now
Yeah,
I'm
it
here
does.
and now I'm like, but if we had four more clients and we had 10 contractors and we had this, that's my next thing. And then when I get there,
Yeah.
then it's going to keep shifting. But
Yeah.
I read a lot of quotes. I'm also, that's another motivation thing,
Mm.
for obsessed with quotes. And whether it's hokey or not, I've just like always loved quotes.
Yeah.
But they said, like, if your younger self could see where you are, or
Mm.
10 years ago, I wish to be where I am now. And I think you always have to remember that where you are, you wished you once were, for the most part. I mean, we
Mhm.
all have some just illness and things in our family. I don't want those things, but success wise, I'm like, wow, like, I've done a lot. And you have to remember that, and then
Yeah.
also keep going and keep having different goals along the way. I
Mm.
think that's motivating too.
What do you think what were some this is a I have, like, 5 thoughts right now,
Of course you do.
contributing to the 60,000. So, I I go back in time. You mentioned 10 years. You're where you wanted to be 10 years ago. I had a different moment 10 years ago about where I saw the wrong way, right? I saw, like,
Yeah.
I was headed the wrong way, and I pictured what it would be 10 years from now, and it was gloomy, to say the least. So
Yeah.
I it was like this epiphany. I was like, "Ooh, if I keep going this way, I'm gonna end up this way, only worse." So I had this moment where I made a different choice. Do you have one of those moments where you made, this decision that got you on this right path? Or did you just always have this trajectory, you knew you were gonna
No.
have the success? Yeah, what was that?
No, not at all. And let's see. So, starting the first business in marketing, I actually had called off a wedding, um, to
Wow.
a wonderful person.
Mhm.
It just, it didn't work out, and that's kind of how I started the first company. So that was an
Wow.
extremely difficult time.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's so much more depth to that story, but
Right, right.
um, you know, I definitely didn't see that coming. And
Yeah.
then, not 10 years ago, but I guess, well, 13 years ago, I got married, but I guess like 11 years ago, I started B Group. But
Mhm.
so I called off a wedding starting at one business, and then I got married, and was, it afforded me, honestly, the
Yeah.
chance to start and the opportunity to start B Group.
Yeah.
And also, I thought marketing and our agency was my life, and that was going to be my
Mm.
life forever. I do. I think the hardest thing in life is we learn from more of the negative things than the successful moments.
Right.
And I hate that. I hate that
Mm-hmm.
lesson. I hate that even saying that, but it really
Right.
is the truth. I mean, even down to like, I almost lost my mom like back in 2022. And she drives me bonkers, but like I got another chance at having her here.
Yeah.
And it like those moments wake you up and you do look at things
Yeah.
differently. And I hate that, but I do think we learn and grow by more of the tougher moments and harder
Yeah.
things in life than the things that go right. I don't look at when we bring on 2 new clients in a week and we're recruiting and we have 5 candidates going through interviews. I'm not like, let me sit back and think about this strategy and why it's working.
I
It's
know.
on days where I'm like,
I
why
know.
can't I focus and do more business
Yeah.
development? And you freak out more when you don't have the business and things aren't going right.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of self-awareness in you, Stacy, and I think
Yeah.
that that's a huge strength. I don't know if like I don't know, I think that is
Yeah.
one trait that has to come with the life experience, but not everybody will get there is a shame because you see other people who might have those bad days and make a lot of excuses and reflect on it or, deflect on other people and causes. But it seems like you're very accountable. Why? Like, how did you get
Yeah.
there?
I will take, I don't always take compliments, but I'll take the sort of resiliency and
Yeah.
self-aware. I'm more than self-aware of all the positive and negative things about Stacy. Remember, I talk about
Mhm.
myself in the third
Mhm.
person
Mhm.
when I don't like myself. But no, I'm very self-aware. Sometimes it's hard to change some of the pattern behaviors or just things that you're used to. But
Yeah.
and I think some of the tougher decisions I didn't realize it going through it, but I did myself and other people. It was a good thing on some of the decisions I made, but sometimes you
Yeah.
can't see them till later.
Later.
Also, even
Mhm.
though they were hurtful and tough,
Mm.
um, I don't know where that came from. Maybe
Hmm.
I have. Well, it's not maybe. My parents are great, and it's good parenting. It's I don't know, like maybe just really being in tune when I'm going through situations and like I really take in like what's going on around
Mhm.
me so that I don't know. I don't Some
Yeah.
of it's innate and some of it's learned behavior. Um I've got a lot of really incredible friends and people in my world that I'm so grateful for that I just sort
Yeah.
of look at them and I'm like, wow, I want to learn from them. Even
Yeah.
you, the fact that like, I remember getting off our first call and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I don't. It's pretty remarkable. You're probably like, I don't know how I do it sometimes, right?
Like, I don't know that I am doing it,
You
okay?
are doing it. You are. You are. I remember you told me you like literally learned an entire AI tool overnight and rebuilt something. And I was just like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would just sit there and cry and be like, do I have the funds to pay somebody to do this?
Yeah.
You learn it, but also you've
Mhm.
learned some of that from things that you've gone through.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when you don't have a backup plan, that's kind of part of
Yeah.
it. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
I got still growing kids I gotta support
Yeah.
and, the dog, of course, I gotta take care of.
A hundred
So,
percent. And somehow bills don't stop. You may not get paychecks and get paid
they
or
sure
whatever.
don't. They sure
I'm
don't.
like, why do I have to pay my mortgage? It's so dumb.
Well, and the thing is like when you get to a point and like when you get to 10, 15 years ago, my lifestyle was much different and it was much more affordable in, financial pits than it is now. It's like you get some success and then you're funding this business. It's like,
Yeah.
yikes, maybe I don't know, maybe it was should have tried this a long time ago. You can't do the what ifs though.
You can't.
It's so tough.
You can't. And like
Yeah.
you cannot look back. You really have to
Yeah.
keep looking forward. I mean, regret's a hard thing. That's one of the worst things to also feel. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you can't look back. I was going to say somehow the lifestyle doesn't always change when the income changes and it has to. And you're right. You get used to that's a new stage, right?
Right.
10 years ago, I was different than where I was 15, 20
Of
years ago
course.
when I was on
Yeah.
my, own or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
crazy.
literally learning I think we don't even realize it. Like every day is a new
Yeah.
learning experience.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. Whether
Well,
it's work or personal.
you are certainly one that like, I think the example you have of accepting the learning. Like, I think more of us need that, you know? I think that's how you get to that self-awareness, resiliency, etcetera. Like, you know that you don't necessarily wanna be the smartest person in the room, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of dull, I
Yeah.
think, and
And no one's the smart. I don't care who you are in life.
right.
Like the
There's
smartest people that
always
we
something
know to
that
be the smartest, yeah, say they surround themselves with other people because you learn
Mhm.
so much. I think that's why I've always loved
Everybody.
networking and being around
Yeah.
people is like I just like I also absorb a lot from other like literally this is so weird. I don't even know if this is gonna make the podcast. But if I'm with someone who has an accent, I like come home and I have an accent. It's super weird. It's super weird. I'm like, okay then, but do you want to go to dinner? It's
Oh,
so weird.
I like it.
It's so bizarre. But I just absorb so much from people around me. And I think
That's
it's like the
fun.
best way to just, learn and grow. But if I can't
That's
believe I just
so
shared
much
that.
fun.
Yeah.
So, well, I've learned a little bit, well, not just a little bit, I think I've learned a lot from you so far. I mean, I think the biggest thing is surrounding yourself with the positivity is
Yeah.
reinforcement for your brain.
Yeah.
What do they say? Like your brain has no capacity. Our brains are so smart in themselves, but they
Yeah.
don't know when you're lying or when you're telling the truth to it. So our negative thoughts
Yeah.
create negative, actions and behaviors and more negative thoughts. Like I heard, if you tell yourself you're sick, you're sick. Your body's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't feel good." You know?
I'm definitely a hypochondriac. I'm working on
So,
that one because
I think
I
your smiley
always have
faces
been.
though are counter,
I'm trying. I'm just
yeah,
like surround myself by music and smiley face. I mean, that does
right.
help. Like really the music thing. It's funny. You have a TikTok for your dog. And
Mhm.
I've been talking about this. My friends are like, will you just do it? Like I want to create a new like Instagram and TikTok for like dancing. Even if it's 30
Oh
seconds a
my
day, it
god.
can
That would be
change
so much fun.
everything. I'm putting it out there. It's on this podcast.
I
Now I got
love
to do it.
it.
Got to do it, Stace.
Every so often, I'll whip out, a few goofy songs and my kids, well, I have one kid that will dance, the other one runs. I have sons, you know. The other one's
Yes.
like, "Are
They're
you
like,
kidding?"
Mom.
Yeah. So it changes your endorphins, your adrenaline,
It
yeah.
does. It's like
And
those hits of
especially
dopamine. Yeah.
if you don't dance like you just don't care while anybody's watching. What's that silly saying? But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
true. It's true.
Yeah. Dance like
Dance like no
nobody's
one's
watching.
watching. Yeah,
And
that's how we should do everything, I think. And
everything.
it's a
It's
cliche,
so,
but
it
it's
is,
true.
it is true. And I remember I posted something about how kids laugh like that statistic I forget and it said let's be more like kids and like live life through this lens of like these new amazing experiences every
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
and we get caught up in the minutia or
Mhm.
listen money's a real thing and we all need
Mhm.
money but if you focus on just doing the sales or making new connection the money follows the
Follows.
success comes and
It does.
I'm hearing myself say this and I'm like I have to remind myself
Yeah.
and I try like I am like a walking oxymoron every day because I'm like
Yeah.
oh my god I got this we're gonna do great there's something around the corner that I can't see and then I'm like well, what if I can't do it? And what if I have to get a job? And what I have to do this?
I
And then it's like,
know.
how can I have the best thoughts and the worst thoughts literally
Yeah.
all at the same
I
time?
know. I know. I know. And it's a constant battle in your mind.
It is.
And I especially, like I said, I don't wake up like that. It's a discipline that I've had to
Yep.
work on and some days it's harder than others.
It is.
But
It
no,
is.
I think that you just you have it seems like a natural ability. And I believe that that's probably, everybody says they're differentiators or they're people. That's another like cliche, but I do
Yeah.
think that that is true in some cases, and I think that that's definitely truth for you because
Thank you.
it's like intoxicating in a good
Thank
way.
you.
So I'm sure
Thank
your
you.
candidates, your clients are it just makes you more trustworthy, the
Yeah.
relatability, you're real, you're raw, you're like, "This is me, here's my menopause fan,"
It,
whatever, and
it
I love
is.
that.
I
I
don't know
love
how
that.
you can be anything else. Here comes another quote. I just posted it. Said, in a world of copycats, be an original because authenticity is your
Mm,
superpower. And it's true. Like, why would you be? I mean, I definitely said earlier, like imposter syndrome and all the other people you had
yeah.
on were successful and built these big companies. But at the end of the day, I still, you can't be somebody else. So be yourself. Haha, there's the B group thing. But it's true. And I listened to your podcast with other,
Thank you.
people, and they were
Hmm.
phenomenal. And I love that this one is also a lot about the psyche behind how I do what we do and all of that. Like, I can't sit here for this company and say, oh, we have 200 employees and we're in 50 different countries. But what I can say is we have fun and we're building our company slowly. It's like slow,
Yeah.
consistent growth.
Yeah.
And we're always looking to pivot and what can be next and how can we do things differently. And for that, I'm really grateful. Sometimes you
Yeah.
do look at others like, gosh, I wish I had like 50 employees and wherever that, but maybe not. That's not my trajectory. That's not my
Yeah.
story here. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Well, and I think too, I do try to bring out the pitfalls like if people have had because it's not all,
Yes.
I don't want us to be talking about the Facebook life. Like, you go on Facebook or Pinterest, they call it the Pinterest mom, who is
Yep.
just the perfect picture. It's like, and I see people posting all the time and I'm like, I know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. Like, come on,
Yep.
let's be a little bit more real. But if that's what helps them, but that does not help our imposter syndromes. It sure doesn't. We
No.
have to remember that's what social media is for. It's to make us all
It's the
look good,
highlight
feel
reel.
good, whatever.
Yep.
Exactly.
It
So,
is. And I'm very careful when people say to me, like, oh, I just saw you were away, or you have such a great life and your pool is so, I'm like, yeah, but I will happily share all the things that aren't perfect because, like, I do put stuff out there
yeah,
that's fun and silly and my quotes and the happy faces. And I love that because that's what inspires me. That does not mean that I think my
right.
life is perfect. If somebody actually says their life is perfect, I don't
Oh,
think so.
yeah. No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know why though that we feel we have to defend what we've worked for. I
And
catch
it's true.
myself all the time, like, but I came from this and I didn't do that. And,
Oh,
and
no.
sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, why do I feel the need to defend what I have now? It's like, I don't, and people are going to think what they're going to think.
It's
It's
true.
like we worked for what we have. I think the majority of people do, not everybody. There's plenty of, there's
Yes.
all different walks of life
Yes. But we
and
shouldn't apologize for what we have.
yeah.
You just want to keep working harder
Yeah.
and doing better and learning. I think
Yeah.
learning's like, I think the most pleasure you feel in a job is like continuously learning and surrounding yourself by smarter people and jumping on
Yeah.
podcasts like this and learning from other people. Like, that's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Mentors have helped, friends have helped. It's just having Ed there who knows the business. It's
Yeah.
feeding off of each other is great. Learning from clients and candidates even. I mean,
Right.
the best compliment was I had a candidate reach out from like 10 years ago and they're like, I remembered working with you. I'm like, first of all, I can't even
Aw.
believe I've been doing that this long. Like, I
Right.
keep telling people I'm not from staffing. I'm like, yeah, but like now I am. Like, now
Yeah.
I've been in it a while.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a compliment for people to come back and work with
Yeah.
you at a different time, or people from my marketing days. Like, that part feels so good to just continue helping people. So,
Yeah.
for that, I hope we can keep doing it.
It's funny. I'm connected with some people on LinkedIn so I used to place a lot of recent grads in this one company and it was one of my favorite roles to fill because it was
Yeah.
just these like
Oh, it's the
go-getter,
best.
kids ready to, you know. And we're talking, let's see, what is it? 2026. I mean, we're talking 15 to 20 years ago.
My gosh.
Oh gosh, I've been doing this a long
Yes.
time too. That's scary. So, and it's so much fun to see where they are now. Like, I helped
Yes.
you get your first job. That it's
Yep.
so cool
It
to
is
have
so.
that impact. And I also, and going back to the high highs in this business and the low low, like
Yeah.
that is, and forget it if somebody comes to you and says thank you. Just forget it.
I know.
That is definitely the best feeling to know that you have that impact on somebody's life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
the things that keep you going. You just reminded me of two things. One is Ed and I talked to temple classes a
Oh,
bunch
cool.
through a friend of ours, and that's been
That's
so
awesome.
fun. And that's like another thing we love because we can give back and give advice,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. And then the other thing is, I once ran into this woman, and I cannot remember her name. I don't even. This was so long ago, and
Mm-hmm.
she had an accent, but I won't do the accent now. But she was so fun. She was from the South, and she was like, I have this add a girl folder. And every time somebody writes me something nice or
Aw,
whatever, I throw it into this folder. And I have done it for the last like 10, 15 years of my life.
I
And
love
on
that.
those bad days, to look at like comments and all of that have come from anyone, whether it be a business colleague, a mentor, a candidate, a client, a friend. I throw it in there and I read them because the lows are
That's
low. And you have
great.
to be reminded of, why are we
Yes.
doing this every day?
Yeah, that is a great idea. That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
it is. It's
Um,
fun and it's fun to read something. I'm like, oh
mhm.
my gosh. Also, like, I'm like, I haven't talked to that person in 15 years. I should
Yeah.
reach out. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
never know. You
Yeah.
do not know. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome.
yeah,
I feel like when I was in, I was in staffing for a long time and I was a recruiter for a long time
yeah,
and I became a COO. So I was more behind the scenes at that point, kind of with the planning and the strategy and all of that. And I totally forgot how much fun it can be on the front lines and especially with the networking piece. And I think that's it. I don't know. I'm kind of going off topic
yeah,
here, but thinking
yeah,
about what you were saying, like of your passion and that's I think a big part of I don't know if I've ever had to do a sale yet because I've just been introduced to so many people.
yes.
Not that I don't have a list and I don't work off, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention I'm rebuilding my product, but that's another story. So,
Part two and three.
so um, but the power of people wanting to help each other, you had
Yeah.
mentioned that earlier, I think is so much stronger than I remembered it to be.
Yes.
It really is. I think it's just and it's such a great thing to open yourself up and I don't feel like I have to sell. Like I don't feel
Yeah.
like I have to I'm just talking to people
Yeah.
and learning about each other, telling them about what I'm doing and it kind of then turns into something. It's crazy. Do you feel the same way like that you've had, I know you said your sales process, you kind of do a little bit of everything, but what do you think is like really the strongest part of your process? Is it the networking? Is it, and how do you keep that alive? Like how do you keep that going?
Yeah, you are right. With the networks that you and I have built and the people that, we can turn to,
Mhm.
they're there to help you. So
Mhm.
that is I talked about centers of influence, and that really is probably the
Mhm.
number one thing that we should be reaching out to, the people that
Right.
care about our success and what we're doing and want to see us learn and grow. So I do need to do more of that. I love networking, and sometimes the networking is also what generates business and all of
Yeah.
that. But you are right, and it's a reminder to myself. It's one of those like
Yeah.
focus points. Like just sit down and look at your LinkedIn network. Like
Yeah.
look at who's been there, who haven't you talked to that maybe you worked with at a prior job who you haven't talked to. I mean, there's so many different forms of business development, but you are right. It's the people that are in our networks that care about us. I do think it is stronger now more than ever because I do think sales has become different and harder for all of us in different
Yeah.
respective industries, not just staffing.
Right.
um, but I think we have to rely on one another more now than ever and ask for help. There's a
Yeah.
woman who's a close friend of mine, and she always says like, flex your ask muscle and ask for
Mm.
help. And I
I
always
like
love
it.
that. And yeah, she's great. And it is such a reminder. Like we want to help,
Yeah.
others want to help, and you have to ask for help. It's also a reminder of who really wants to help and is there for you. It's interesting, right?
And they will if they want to, and they won't if they don't,
And then that's
but
disappointing and you put them in a different category. But
yeah.
so it is true. It's like sometimes the people you thought might help don't, and that's okay. That's
Mhm.
another a new
Right.
learning thing every day.
Right. Right.
And then there's those that surprise us that we haven't seen in 20 years and are like, oh my gosh, like it's so great. Let me know who you want
Yeah.
to meet in my network. But it goes back to you're a good person. I'm a good person. We want to help and we've
Yeah.
done good. Don't burn bridges. That's one of the best things I ever learned.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not we're not perfect and we all make
Yeah.
mistakes. I would never be sitting here saying I never hurt somebody or I never did the wrong thing. I've done plenty of wrong things, but I try to
Mm-hmm.
right them and I try to do my best and be, what do they say,
Mhm.
1% better every day. If we're
Yeah.
1% better every day, we will do good things and be
Right.
successful and come out on top.
Yeah. I think my situation is so different than so many of why I started my business. But
Yeah.
I think looking back for you, um, what advice would you have for somebody who's wants to move out of corporate and has an idea and thinks that they can do it better or differently on their own, or just has that dream? I mean, really, that is so brave. Having the courage to start your own thing, getting,
Yeah.
funding, or what did you do? And what would you tell that person that's sitting in the corporate world right now and wants out?
Yeah, this is my like self-diagnosed ADHD brain. I'm writing down notes because I had like five thoughts that came at
I love
once.
it. Good.
I think we're seeing more entrepreneurs come out of
Mhm.
corporate just because of so many layoffs and just a changing
Yeah.
dynamic of the workplace. And I love seeing that. I think the be brave and just as Nike said, just do it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you do it scared and you have to jump in. I say that to
Yeah.
myself, even with the personal thing that I want to launch on Instagram or TikTok. And I'm so scared and like fear, it's like it keeps us from doing so many things. And like I said earlier, like regret is the worst. You have to try it, and even if you
Mhm.
fail, you didn't even fail, like you tried something new that most people don't do.
Yeah.
So I think like brave and face fear and just do it. Also turn to a mentor or somebody who can like
Mm.
push you a little bit and give you that push that you need to start. Sometimes, like for me, it was just getting one client. So if you get even the smallest consulting gig or project or whatever it
Yeah.
is you want to start, that propels you forward because after one client comes two. It's all word of mouth. If you do a good job, someone else is going to see that. The other thing is maybe even forming like, and it doesn't have to be formal, but like an advisory board or team or just group
Yeah.
around you
Yeah.
helps you. And I think something, and I probably should have mentioned this so early on, is accountability.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I think when you're on your own, and I do have Ed, and all joking aside, you know how I said I met him and he was, my boss many years ago.
Yeah.
He can't play boss, husband, and business partner, and that's
No.
very tricky.
Right.
And having an accountability partner or some sort of accountability. I have
Mhm.
check-in calls with people. I think you and I talked about doing that.
Yeah.
Myra, just
Yeah.
people that are there along the way to hold you accountable. You're not going to fail. And I don't even
Yeah.
know what does that mean? Fail, like you don't get 20 clients, okay, but maybe you get two, and there you just started your business in a month. So
Yeah.
just jump in and do it. I do believe this. It's not just me saying this. I do believe there's enough business out there for everybody. I really
I
do.
believe it too. Yeah,
I
I have
do.
such a different perspective now. Now for me, I wasn't like you could argue this, but I wasn't necessarily brave and I kind of didn't have a choice. I had to go back to corporate or I had to start my own thing. Those were my two choices, and I
Yep.
went this route. You know, yeah, probably there would have been some easier things, especially financially.
Yeah.
Like getting my resume together, but it was like, all right, now or never. But I didn't
Yeah.
leave myself, and I think that, I
Yeah.
think a lot of people have that too. It's like, all right, well, I don't have a lot of choices, so
Yeah.
let me start my own thing. But I think there's so much, especially with technology now, to support
Yeah.
marketing, and you can like do your own I mean, like, you can develop things so much easier than you could a long
Yeah.
time ago. So I do think I talked on one of the guests I had was saying it's easier now than ever to be an entrepreneur. Not that it's easy.
Right. Not easy, but
It's not easy
easier.
easier to start if you have a
Yes.
passion. So, I don't know, I would
Yeah.
just love, to get to somebody, to reach somebody who is not happy and, sees a
Yeah.
different way, like, you can kind of do it part-time if you want it, if you have the
You
right ideas.
can. And there's so
Mm.
many people doing like before it was gig work or it was freelance, now it's fractional work,
Yep.
whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. There
Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
room out there. There's people that want to work differently or hire someone, based on a different whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just, and I have to remind myself that too. There is enough business out there. And just because also, I have found myself sometimes on new business calls with big companies, I apologize for being small. And they're like, stop apologizing for being two
Yeah.
of you. First of all, you're going to work harder than some of our larger
Yeah.
companies we work with, and you bring something different to the table that we're looking for. So that I have to, it is more a female thing too, the apologetic thing. I'm trying to not apologize all the time, but it's hard.
I was
I'm
really
sorry. I'm
mm,
sorry. I'm sorry.
oh god, so that's one of my pet peeves.
Oh,
I haven't really heard you say that, so maybe it's like
I
a client
haven't.
thing that, or we're just have a different,
Yeah.
relationship, but yeah, but I was also trained by men who treated me
Yep.
like a man.
Yeah. Good and
And it
bad,
it
but
sounds bad, but I was like, "I'll take it. I'll
yeah.
take it." And so I don't know, I kind of had this different perspective of women in the workplace from
Yeah.
early on because I was treated like an equal. But I also kind of stepped up. You're not going to see me crying. You're not going to
No.
see me, having and I also they would they would come down on me for the apologetic stuff. They're like, "What are
Yeah.
you doing? Like you are not no, you're not going to be an executive in this company if you walk into a room like that again.
Yeah.
You are
You're
not
right.
why are you offering people coffee? Why are you like you are supposed to be an equal in this room." So, I
That
like that was,
that's
like,
an
those
interesting,
tiny
yeah.
little things that we are nurturers by nature, like, we want everyone, "Oh, here's the lunchroom, here's the bathroom." No, stop. Did you see any men doing that to each other? But yet that's not my job, but naturally I do that. So I stopped.
That is
So
so interesting that you said that. I'm not at all the time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm more, it's probably an insecurity when I'm talking to a prospect and I'm like, well, they could be working with this big company. So that I've tried to like
yeah,
eliminate and take out of my vocabulary.
yeah.
The interesting one is, and Ed has commented on it. Again, I don't know if this will make it in here, but maybe I'm just saying it to you or whatever. But I will sometimes walk into a room and offer people things,
Mhm.
and he's like, "You're," and no offense to any, what's it called, admin or anything. It's
Right,
just my role when I'm there as a business professional is that I'm
right.
not changing toilet paper and bringing people coffee and doing all that stuff. And I sometimes take that on because it's a comforting thing too.
Yep. But the reality is
Yeah.
when it's not your job, it devalues what your real job is,
Yes.
and it
Yes.
unfortunately, and then you put the idea out there. So that's I mean, I was like I said, I was so lucky I had that in my face all the time.
Yeah.
Like getting the projector to work. Like I remember I had coached
Yeah.
somebody else on that. I hit a woman. I was like, "Why are you no, you're that's
I
not your
know.
job today." Like,
Right.
sit down, and I was like and same thing, but I was just lucky enough to get that told to me, and I listened. I wasn't, I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And I was I think too, I worked in an environment where that behavior was allowed, where I was allowed to
Yeah.
to be in that role, to be in the executive role. I wasn't expected. So
Yeah.
I think you have to have that full circle support too,
I
you
think so
know?
too. I mean, I definitely lucked out in my career. I had an
Mm.
awesome female boss first who
Mm.
literally taught me the value of networking. And if I had one thing to say how I got to
Yeah.
where I am, networking, period, like mic drop. Because my
Yeah.
network is everything. But she was so powerful. And we grew up around
Mm.
men, and she ran a marketing agency in the
Mhm.
technology world. And, I graduated in 99 and I was an intern
Okay.
there in like 97, 98. And I stayed there for a couple years and it was
Yeah.
great. So to see that
Yeah.
was pretty powerful and incredible. And I did take that with me. I think, to be honest, where the other part of Stacy that sort of like let me get you your coffee on comes more from my mom. and her relationship at home and does everything from my dad, which does not exist here. It is much more equal. But I do think, and again, I love my mom, but I do think that I inherited that sort of trait from her, and it's more learned behavior. And I think that it needs to be more equal in the workplace.
It's funny. I had a debate with somebody not too long ago, and it was somebody who, it was a podcast that I was going to be on. I was going to be a guest, and she was kind of vetting me out, right?
Yeah.
So we get into this man and women in the workplace and, women rights and all of this stuff. I said, yeah. And I was, and I'm going to piss some people off here. I said, yeah, but women need to own why they're treated like that in the workplace. Yeah. And she said, no, a man got a raise and I didn't. And I said, did you demand the raise? Did you go and tell the boss that, like, it was like a commission or something that she didn't get? And I said, well, what did you do? And she said, well, what was I supposed to do? I was like, well, what would a man do? And she was like, oh, yeah. Like, it just started like this kind of debate where, she said, I never thought of it. Like, I did have some ownership. I accepted it. I complained about it and I never got my bonus. I said, but so we have to take responsibility for our role in getting treated differently. If you're not going to step up, men act differently. They're more confident, and that's nature. That's okay. So it's unnatural for them to want to nurture people in the workplace and offer them coffee. It's unnatural for us to be unliked or the fear of being unliked.
The unlikable thing. I think that's a hard thing also, because you cannot in business be loved by even in life you can't. And I think growing up, we all want to be liked and all of that. And that is a hard thing. And that's also a learning thing. You just can't. But you just reminded me of something. They say when it comes, and this is relevant to staffing, but when it comes to resumes, if you have a job description and there's 10 criteria for getting the job, and a man has 3 out of 10 things, and the woman has 9 out of 10, the man thinks he's perfect, and the female says, but I don't have this one bullet point. Yeah. And it is such, it goes right into what you just said. And look, no one's sitting here saying that there's as many female CEOs as there are males in the world. We know that statistic isn't equal. Is it coming up and being more balanced? Sure. That's not what you're saying. You're saying that in a situation, if you're not going to ask for that raise and you don't feel you're worth, you're not going to get it. If you never ask, the answer is always no.
Don't ask, don't get.
That's right. I mean, that's it. So,
and we just don't have as much as, like, we're not as a surf. There's plenty of women that are, I think, I was certainly able to kind of cross over. Well, I went way far the wrong direction for a little while. And then I'm back. I came, now, like, I think I have a good, but no, I have plenty of times where I'm like, and you have to fight everybody for everything half the time. Like, even if stupid example. So my air conditioner breaks, right? Last week. And I'm like looking at the weather. It's going to be 90 degrees. And I call and they start giving me a hard time. I'm too far. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, your stickers on my air conditioning unit. What do you mean I'm too far? And they're arguing with me. And they said, well, we're really busy. We're not going to be able to get out there till May 29th. Staci, it was like May 10th or something. I was like, what? I said, that's unacceptable. I used the word, I was like, that's absolutely unacceptable.
Literally the same thing. We just got a new HVAC last Wednesday. I kid you not. I swear to God, you and I did not talk before this call about this.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
The company that has serviced us for 13 years living in this home.
Yeah.
June, they could give us a new HVAC. So we interviewed 4 companies. And an incredible company. We chose our neighbors. 4 different people. Friends gave us 4 different. Interviewed them all. They just installed it last week. And let me tell you something. I totally interjected your story.
No, you're good.
It wasn't a perfect installation and process. The sales process was an amazing company. The owner of the business came out 2 days ago to make sure that they're going to fix the problem. And a plug
Wow.
here for Lions. Now I'm in Bucks
Mhm.
County, but anyway, they've been incredible through this whole process. But you're right. Isn't that, I can't believe the
So
same thing just
I
happened.
had to fight them. I had to be the biggest bitch to that. And I'm like, why am I the asshole? Sorry.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
am I the asshole? You
Yeah.
just told me you're too far.
Yeah.
You're our customer, but we don't go that far when we don't want to, like, and we're too busy. And I was like, that's not my problem.
That's right.
And I said these words to this person. And I said, the 3 weeks is unacceptable. Like, so anyway, but I had to step over that
Yeah.
comfort of, okay, they're not gonna like me, and they didn't. Whoo, they did not. And guess what? 6 days down, like, they
Yeah.
came out on Tuesday. So it was like less. I said, "Look, this is what's gonna happen. I'll accept you coming out within a week. You call me back later
Yeah.
today when you have that date." And the only acceptable time frame. So, like, I'm like, "Man," but they were willing to just let me wait a month,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they were
You had
fine
to
with that.
ask. It's not okay though.
It's like, man, and I just find myself having to do that more and more with
Yeah.
companies, man, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm so tired of it, like, I'm, like, always fighting with people, and, I think that's why in my business, I'm, like, I try to accommodate because
Yeah.
like, that's your customer, like, that's you're
Customer
supposed to bend
service is
over
everything. It's
backwards for them. Like, so I never understood that mentality. But you have to be willing to be unliked if you wanna get anything half the time, you
you
know?
it is very true. It's so funny, the HVAC. I've
It is
noticed,
funny.
I think the most disappointing for me with companies has been contractors and home stuff over the last 13 years here, because I sometimes
Mm.
act like project manager of the household, and I enjoy that. Like,
Yeah,
I like that, but
yeah.
I've been so disappointed by
Mhm.
people. It's funny, we're talking
Yeah.
about not apologizing though, and I will say that sometimes when Stacy's not so kind, like our local pizza place down the street that I love so much, sometimes I have been rude. I don't mean to be, but like if someone can't hear me on the phone or like whatever happens, I've gone back in and
Yeah.
apologized, because we go there
Mhm.
every week, and I'm like, that's the right thing to do. But I just think it's fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for yelling at whoever was on the
Yeah.
phone, but
That's
I
that
wanted my cheesesteak and you
self-awareness
couldn't
coming
hear me. No,
out.
I'm kidding. Yeah. 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 I'm
Well,
kidding. But yeah.
I did tell the guy who came out, I said, "Hey, I know what probably had to happen to get you out here today, so I appreciate it. Like, I don't know if you're
Yeah.
working overtime or whatever." I
Yeah.
said, "But, so I
That's
do
the
appreciate
business
it."
they're in. When your
Right.
HVAC or your air like is not working and it's 98 degrees out, you have to know that's going to be a busy time. Everybody has different busy times for the most part
Yeah.
in their business, especially in that world of, of home stuff. It's just it's remarkable that our company, who literally we've paid for 13 years, couldn't get to us for a month, and we said
Right.
hi, and we
Bye.
hired a new great company who's been here literally every day trying to help us.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
need that name again
Yeah.
later.
They're great. They really are great. But yeah, it's an interesting world all around. And that's the other thing, when you have your own business, the personal and the professional. I mean, we work out of our home, so there's lots
Mhm.
of things you have to juggle in a day, and you
Yeah.
have to realize that a day can change at the drop of a hat. You
Yeah.
might have your whole day planned out, and you have to cancel every meeting because your dog is sick.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Yeah.
drop anything for Maya.
Of
But
course.
yeah, but yeah. So life and business are interesting.
Really is. Yeah, it's a juggle. Always a juggle. Well, Stacey, this was a lot of fun. I hope it's fun for other people too.
I
I
hope so
don't,
too.
we'll see. But I always enjoy spending time with you, and
I do too.
I love your business. I think that you
Thank
are a
you.
success, and I like that
Thank you.
you built it with integrity and heart and passion, and that's really why, not just your personality, but really why I wanted to have you here, because I think that a business like yours should be promoted and showcased. And I think it's really great too to promote that it can be done if you've got that work ethic. And I think you had just such great advice for me
Thank
and
you.
others. So thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks
Thanks
for
for your
having me.
time.
It's always fun talking to you. And look, I always
Thanks.
say if you learn one nugget of information
Mhm.
from anyone, anywhere, even whether it's on a podcast or you're in a meeting or a
Mhm.
networking event, then it was successful. So hopefully
Oh,
this is fun
yeah.
for everybody today.
I agree. I agree. Well, we'll get you back sooner or later, hopefully sooner. And thanks again, Stacy. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.